This is the second hint for the wormhole question, where we'll actually look at the implementation on paper. So let's suppose we have 4 points. So given these 4, what we'll need is to first put down their x coordinates in an array. So these will be your xy coordinates. And you will also want to keep track of every point's immediate right points. So right of each point, 0 will have 1 on its right, 1 has nothing on its right, 2 has nothing, and 3 has 2. You also have to think of cases where several points are actually on the same line. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to have to register only its immediate right points. So the sample input doesn't have that problem, but there will be cases. So you want to put down the index of your immediate right point. You also want to have a pair array, okay? Because each point will have a pair. So this pair array is something that we populated using recursion. For example, we'll have 0, 1 as the pair. We could have 0, 2 as the pair, or we could have 0, 3 as the pair. Then if we are here, we will put 0's pair as 1 and 1's pair 0 in the pair array. So this pair again tells you what index you are paired up with. So index 0, the 0th point, is paired with index 1. So if your next point is 2, 3, as it has to be, we'll have 3 and 2. And then as we backtrack and go to some other one, we'll be updating the pair array as we go. We don't really have the second cases. So what will happen is as we backtrack, we will be deleting these 2. As we backtrack, we'll be deleting these 2. And then as we go down this way, we'll put down 2, 0. And then since next one has to be 1, 3 pair, actually that's 0 right there. So that these 2 are paired up. And on the next line, we'll have 1, 3. So 1's paired with 3, 3 is paired with 1. Okay. So we'll be looking at, in this case, 3 different pairing combinations in the pair array. Once you are at the leaf node, meaning that we have completed the pair array, then we can now use these 4 to see if there is a cycle. And detecting if there is a cycle can be done by iterating through all the points from every point. What we're going to do is we're going to write a for loop that will iterate through all the points, right? So you're going to start from 0, you're going to start from 1, you're going to start from 2, you're going to start from 3, and see if you ever come back to yourself. So if the pairings go like this, then what you can do is you can start from 0, you're going to go to 1, and then jump to 2, and then from there there's no right, so you exit. And then what you do is you go to 1, you go to your right, and you're done, and so on. If you are in a particular pairing combination such that it will actually create a cycle, then what will happen is you're going to first go to your right and then jump, go to your right and then jump, go to your right, and then you will be back at where you are. You just have to make sure that each iteration of this traversal has you are going to the right and then you're jumping. There might be a case where you are back at where you are in the middle of the iteration. For example, you could start at 1, you could go to some point, jump to some point, you could go to some point, jump to another point, and then on your 3rd day, you could actually be at 1 and then jump to another point and then exit from there. So you can see that 1 was in the middle of an iteration, and you can't call that a cycle. It's only a cycle if you move to the right and teleports to the original position. So that's one case you have to not overlook. Okay, so in this case, in terms of coding, what you will do is to go through starting from every point. You want to grab a variable, let's say j, and then you want to, in some for loop, have j move to its right point, and then have j jump to its wormhole pair, and then check if I is ever equal to j. And if I equals to j, you're returning true. And like I said, you shouldn't be checking this after you go to your right. You actually have to perform both going to the right and then jumping to the pair. Okay, so you will be doing this in a loop. We want this loop to run at least n times. So if you are in a cycle, it could take up to n times. So you definitely want to do this. And obviously you want to go here and say if the right of j does not exist, then you can return false or something. In fact, I think you're going to have to say break, and then you will have to say like false outside of this for loop. But that's for you to figure out. Will be your second hint for the question.